Let's take a trip to the Pleistocene epoch, between 11,000 and 2.6 million years ago. Humans were just beginning. Ice reached as far south as Denver and Moscow were the 40th parallel. Temperatures at just the edges of the ice were 11 degrees below freezing. Creatures not known to us today roamed the earth, such as the 9-foot saber-toothed salmon or giant land sloths. However, many flowering plants and mosses from the Pleistocene epoch still exist today. Most importantly, though, woolly mammoths were on the verge of extinction. These fascinating creatures were the same size as the modern African elephant, 9 to 11 feet tall, weighing in at about 6 tons. They were covered with fur to protect them from the cold, as they lived in northern areas on the permafrost layers of the ice, at a temperature just below freezing. This woolly mammoth here is just a few years old. Let's follow his life, shall we? Let us name this mammoth Joe. Today, Joe is looking around for food. You may think that the Arctic had little more than a few patches of grass. You would be wrong. Keep in mind, the land here isn't covered in ice. It is in fact rather green, being the permafrost layer. However, if you dug down a few inches, you would reach rock-solid dirt. Therefore, only plants with small root systems could grow, such as little flowering plants, carrots, or parsley. Let's jump a few years forward. Joe, about 10 years old, will meet a group of hunters today. Many early humans and Neanderthals relied on the mammoths for survival. It was unlikely Joe would escape. However, little does Joe know that humans of the time worship him, much like Native Americans do to the buffalo. They use the ivory for carvings, enjoyment, and the coats for warmth. Here are the humans now. Let's see how this plays out. It appears Joe here was able to outrun them, with his top speeds at 42 kilometers, or 26 miles per hour. Let's fast forward another 50 years or so. Sadly, today is Joe's last day on the planet. He is a little older than his relatives, as most mammoths were lucky to live 55 years, let alone 60. Joe lies down. He takes his last breath on Earth. Little does he know, he was one of the last hundreds of his species. He had a good life. And, in the future, our present day, his beloved, frozen, preserved remains will be used to educate children all over the world.